반갑습니다. While I'm currently enjoying the effects of the yellow dust season here in Korea, which is this yellow dust that blows in from China over the peninsula, causing lovely allergic reactions. And so if I look like or sound like death, it's probably because I feel like death right now. But I thought I wanted to comment on this North Korea thing some more. I did a quick video the other day that got a lot of feedback, and I got a lot of great comments on it, and I just wanted to talk about this issue. And I'm sure by now you've all read an article or seen it on the news or watched YouTube videos about this situation with North Korea. But I think a lot of people are losing sight maybe of the grander scheme of things outside of maybe what the media is really telling us. The media is really focusing on the actions and the words of North Korea, their rhetoric, the military actions and scurrying that's taken place at the border, and do they have the capability to carry these things out, and will America go in and take over the government, and blah 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 blah. But there hasn't been much attention paid on what I think is the greater uh, picture here, and that is China. Now, China has been North Korea's ally for I don't know how long. Definitely all throughout the war and up to current day. Now, China provides an enormous amount of support for North Korea. Political support, humanitarian support, food and things like that. Support with sanctions from the UN and disciplinary actions in recent history. And even current day, China has basically said to the UN countries of interest involved in this issue, hey, look, let's just be calm, everybody, and we're going to try to work things out with North Korea. And at the same time, I've heard reports and I've seen some statements that would allude to the fact that China maybe is backing off from North Korea and saying, we're not responsible for them, we got too much to lose. We're not obligated necessarily to support them militarily. And that's all fine and good. But maybe there's a bigger picture, and that's kind of what I see. Now, North Korea is just kind of like this anomaly of a country. Now, I'm not going to say that they don't really have a purpose, but it is the hermit kingdom, and they don't really produce anything or provide any type of value to the outside world. They're just kind of there. And so it would cause one to ask, why? Why does China want them there? What is their vested interest? Well, hey, I think that's probably pretty obvious, at least in my opinion only. I think that what North Korea provides a buffer, a physical piece of land that buffers a country that is close allies with UN military forces such as the United States, and we are the largest presence here on this peninsula of any other country. Now, in this day and age, it would probably be in China's vested interest to keep it that way. You know, do you want the United States and do you want all of Korea to become just one nation, and then the United States is right at your doorstep? Well, in this day and age, I would probably say probably not. There's really no reason that I can think of realistically that would cause North Korea to remain in existence all these years with the threats and the irrational actions and things like that, to having other countries go in and just remove the government and allow the peninsula to become one nation again. That's a very logical and peaceful resolution that makes a lot of sense to a lot of people, but it just doesn't happen. And again, you have to ask yourself why. Now, for the same reason, North Korea and China don't just walk in and take over South Korea because there's a military force there. So it's vice versa. And I think a lot of people lose sight of that. Now, there's a big difference between a skirmish and dropping some shells and kind of beating your chest and saying, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, see, we got these missiles and stuff like that, and an all-out act of war, or really trying to make a change that is going in and replacing the government or forcing the issue. And I think hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully everything gets ironed out up at the border. But there's a lot of evidence that shows that probably some little thing is going to happen. But I honestly think that it's going to be limited to a skirmish or some beating of the chest and some actions of that nature, and not really an all-out act of war, regardless of what China says. Now, I think that a lot of people are really hoping that maybe China will step away and maybe they've had enough and they've got too much to lose. They have a vested interest now that they're becoming a superpower. They don't want this bad child, but that's just simply not the case, because if they have North Korea, it doesn't affect them. But if they don't have them, well, that could affect them to have the United States right there on their borders. So I think that some things will probably happen at the border, and I hope that it gets ironed out so that it doesn't happen, because there's a lot of people up in that region there. And this is all really just stupidity. But I think in the big picture, it's going to remain status quo through it all. There's no reason why it would change, for the same reasons why it hasn't changed for the past 50 years. I know that everyone's really crossing their fingers and so am I. I'd like to see the country become one. You may or may not know, I am North Korean. My mother is from North Korea, so I'm half Korean. So I would like to see that happen as well. I just don't think that it's going to happen anytime soon. But that's just my opinion. You are entitled to yours as well, and I would actually like to hear it. On the other video that I did, I got a lot of great feedback. And if you're from another country, I always like to hear what your take is, what your media outlets are feeding you on this issue going on here on the peninsula. But in any event, let's hope and pray that nothing happens and that it becomes a non-event. But in any case, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video or any of the other videos I do about teaching English in Korea, please subscribe below. I'll be making videos for a long time, or at least as long as I can keep this train rolling. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.